Hello everyone, this is Foxhound coming back again with another video. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new event, and I'm going to review the ships over here of the new sovereigns over here. So just bear with me for a moment. This is post production because my audio got deleted, or I didn't record my audio when I was doing the video. Anyways, here you get also two bundles outside of the event where you can get camouflages if that's something that you will want to get. They are fairly nice for 1,300 pounds. If you 1,300 gold, and if that's something that you really want, you can go for that. Yeah, so well, that's it. Now we're going to review these three ships. As you can see, I used them. I recorded a couple of matches with them. The first one is the RF Shkval. I don't remember the name, but it's pretty good. It has a lot of 4 missiles, 1 cannon, and a total of 4 grenade launchers. Two split in between 2 of them, and it actually has a total of, if I am not mistaken, almost 9 air defenses, which is pretty nice. This is something that, I mean, out of all the ships available on this event, this is something that potentially I would recommend you getting. It is a pretty nice ship, yes, from Mother Russia, something to consider. But your decision to get this also is going to depend on your strategy in the future, because this ship actually has a very good air defense, but bear in mind that the ship at the moment that was on top of this one, of course, was the Mingo, which has a total of 4 cannons. Here we are seeing the statistics. This particular destroyer actually has more speed than anything else, but it cannot turn as well. I mean, it turns well, but not as much. Reminds me of the RF Linder. Here is the progression. As you can see, as you can go forward and you can get a free grenade launcher if that's what you want to. If that's what you want, and it's actually fairly good. Of course, it's going to be slightly less than the RBU 2500, but overall I think it's a very good grenade launcher. It's a win for the free-to-play community. We are going to move on slightly over here. Let's see, we're still reviewing the RBU, and top of that, of course, we're going to have the part of the event. There it goes, where you can get the camouflage. I am not in particular so invested into the camouflage. It looks okay, total of power, but doesn't look that amazing for the amount of money. Here you have the events of the gachas. Usually you have the pay to win, the free to play version, which you get this cannon is fairly good. You get the Palais, it's a good missile, I mean overall average. But here we go to the pay to win version, where you can get the FS Normandy, which is a specialized frigate that can target submarines, and it has like a total of 4 missiles on it, and of course Admiral Chavanenko, which has a slot of 4 grenade launchers. Aside of that, in this event you have, of course, the new MK-47C Striker, which is pretty much a form of an AFGS. It's focused on targeting torpedoes, and is considered one of the best defenses for torpedoes out there, slightly better than AFGS. I suspect the latter maybe nerfed, so people get this one, but oh well. Moving on, of course, you have the rest of the events. You have the high fly as usual. I'm not so invested into the high fly, but well, people like their guided missiles. So well, the option over here, as you can see, this is when I start discussing pretty much that at the moment we got a ban on the Hellcat, so we're going to maybe see a reduction of the carriers on the game. However, it's tricky because this particular destroyer has an amazing air defense, so it's not just about you doing a lot of damage, and its equipment is actually very good. but it's also about being able to defend against missiles, either coming from planes or coming from ships. So this destroyer enables you to have more presence on the battlefield, if I may say so myself. On the other hand, Ningbo, which I am the one that I'm trying to search over here, just bear with me for a moment, is one that is very good. It has a smoke and it has a total of 4 cannons, but the only problem with Ningbo, and something that I got in my actual account, is that it falls down very easily to air. Its air defenses are not so strong, so if you are facing an assault carrier or a carrier that has some type of Hellcat, this will be the first thing that will be targeted, and it falls down very, very, very quickly. As much as I love Ningbo, and yes, it's 4 cannons, especially with the new cannon that came from the last gacha event, it's actually pretty busted, but again, it falls very, very quickly on the missiles. Of course, if you are not facing an assault carrier or a carrier, yeah, it's actually pretty good, and you can abuse the smoke in order to do damage. But I found out that again, the new carrier is good. Regarding Admiral Chabanenko, it has slightly less defenses than the new Scar that came, the new bundle ship. Actually, it's amazing. It looks like Admiral Basisti. It has again 4 grenade launchers, differences in 1 slot. And of course, here you have other type of equipment as well. But if I had to choose between Ningbo or Admiral Chabanenko, I will say you should consider getting the new bundle ship. But something to consider as well, that is something that I would recommend only if you are like a main player that only uses like destroyers, and destroyers are your thing. The new bundle ship, at least you will be able to obtain it, and you will be able to sell it in the market if for some reason, and yes, they always do these things, and it may get nerfed on its air defenses, and it happens all the time. It happened with Admiral Brawl, which was one of the most or the best cruisers out there. Now it falls like paper mache. The same thing may happen to this one, so don't be surprised if you decide to get it, but then you need to sell it in the future. That's something to take into consideration regarding the air defenses. But in its current state, of course, it is very, very, very good. Yeah, very strong air defenses over here. So I mean, regarding the event itself, here I'm showing the defenses and everything. But I mean, overall in the event, I will say, like, if you are really a destroyer player, this is your best choice. This is your best choice, and you can consider getting it. Otherwise, it may be a complete skip. If I'm completely honest, the only thing that I may consider getting from this particular event, if possible with few spins, will be the new autocannon that is against torpedoes. So yeah, I mean, that you can see the difference here between Admiral Chabanenko and again with the new one here. The difference, of course, you have the 4 slots in the Admiral Chabanenko in the same slot. Of course, it's slightly slower, and you have less air defenses, as you can see. I was able to play with both of them, and air strategy is actually very, very good. The speed is very, very, very good. Maybe it will not get nerfed and people don't start complaining. Maybe it will not get nerfed, but we shall see about that. So yeah, that is pretty much my review regarding this particular event. Now what I'm going to do, of course, is I'm going to check right what I'm showing over here, but I'm also going to bring this ship later on into an online match as well, and you are going to see what it's capable of, how it is able to take out all sorts of missiles. It's actually very, very, very good. In addition to that, of course, we have the FS Normandy, This is the gacha ship that comes from the event. Of course, the final reward. It has a total of 4 missiles, 1 cannon, a fairly nice grenade launcher. Yeah, and of course, most of its defenses are focused on taking out, again, torpedoes and submarines. It does fairly good damage. But overall, in my honest opinion, I mean, for 100 pounds, would you really want to get this? I would say absolutely not. Please save your money. I mean, take into account, like, you have other, if you have put money before, maybe you have an Infribo, maybe you have a Forbin, you can even use other type of destroyers, other Zumwalt even, that, oh, even the Smart 4000, I mean, that is free. You can do the same, almost the same, in comparison to the FS Normandy. So I highly recommend you not to put money into it. I am not saying it's a bad frigate, but in my eyes, the amount of money that you are spending for using this, in my eyes, is not worth it. Because I would expect that for a gacha event, you will want to get something more aside of the ship. No, just a normal ship that you can do with something else. Yeah. That was the case, for example, for Midway. Midway offered a different option that you don't get with other assault carriers or Charles de Gaulle, for example. So, well, as you can see, this is the bundle. Once you finish everything, you can get it at 35 pounds. Am I going to consider getting it? I am not quite sure, possibly not. Again, I am a main carrier player, so I don't see why I should consider doing that. So again, in my opinion, as I'm showing over here, the MK47C Striker is something that I may try getting. In the previous gacha, I was fortunate enough to get the equipment with the free spins that we get from the event. So hopefully this happens again with this one. For my carrier and assault carriers, I think this will be a very good piece of equipment. Aside of that, nothing else actually catches my eye. I cannot fully recommend you to spend more money into it. But that again is just my opinion at the end of the day. So with that, you are going to see that afterwards I'm going to start a match. It is a very capable destroyer. I am going to do this live with players. Of course, this is after recording. Here I'm making, of course, a comparison between the new autocannon and the AFGS. As you can see, the new cannon has higher damage, higher burst damage, aerial damage is higher, range is higher. Of course, the AFGS has a shorter reload, but the new one is compensating on that with the amount of distance that you have. It's higher. So as long as you are far away from a submarine, you're pretty much safer. But you also have to hope that AFGS is not nerfed, so devs don't force us to get it. I don't think that will happen, but nowadays you never know, especially with the F-19 Hellcat situation that happened most recently. I will bring a comment on that. What are my thoughts? But for the time being, we're going to focus on this RF Shkval. So aside of that, yes, I hope that you are having a good day. Yeah, it seems here I was talking a lot about Ningbo. Yes, that this is an amazing ship at 4 cannons, but this one has more utility, absolutely, and yeah, it is pretty much a good destroyer. And I am not a destroyer guy. I recently uploaded a post when I did 5,000 damage with this one. Of course, I mean, a lot of it was due to the autocannon that was fending off torpedoes, but still, 3 downs, 5,000 damage. Yeah, that's something to consider, something not to bear in mind. Here I am making even a comparison, right? For example, that I would prefer rather to use a cruiser, for example, in the form of an Arkansas, which I have been using recently, and it's more reliable, stronger defenses, the cannons are strong. So it's very reliable. So this is your choice, of course. If you are a player that prefers destroyers, well, I think this is one of the best choices out there, just to help the team and not to be a lone player. And the frigate Normandy, yeah, again, I don't fully recommend it. So, okay, that has been pretty much the review. So as you can see now, I am starting to equip it, and I am going to start a match with players. And here you see, and I did mention before that it was sad that in this demonstration I did not have an assault carrier or carrier in the enemy team. Still, you are able to see what it can do against missiles and how much damage it can do. I'll leave you with the gameplay. Again, remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much for joining. This is Foxhound.